Hi friends, so we are 30 weeks pregnant, third trimester, and we're going to be stretching for about 10 to 15 minutes yoga today. Let's do this together. I'm keeping myself accountable. You can follow along or just fall in wherever it suits you. So let's go ahead and start in a nice seated position again. We're going to go ahead and roll out any extra flesh that we feel like might be in the way as we're sitting. Let's go ahead and roll your shoulders back. Taking a deep breath in, breathing out, and starting to bring focus and awareness to your inhales and exhales. My name is Vanessa. I'm in my third trimester of pregnancy, and stretching is good for us when you're pregnant. So let's do this together. So let's go ahead and breathe in. And let's start with neck rolls again. We're going to drop our neck, our chin to our chest. Breathing in. As we slowly roll our head around our shoulders, as slowly as you feel you need it. I like to just stick to 3. Remembering your exhales and your inhales. 3 in each direction is a good base. I'm on my second. Just remembering deep breathing and thinking grateful thoughts for the temple that is holding your baby. And when you've reached your third, chin to chest, go ahead and reverse the directions, keeping your shoulders nice and soft and gentle. Just remembering gratitude. As I'm coming around to my third, you'll notice I have no yoga mat, and that is to enforce the idea that you don't need a complete setup to stretch. You can stretch at any point, at any time, whenever your body feels called to do it. And then go ahead and just raise your head back to neutral. Maybe your eyes are closed or gently open. Breathing in. You can roll your shoulders back 3 to 5 times. Feeling your chest open. And go ahead and roll your shoulders forward. Making your shoulders really high to your ears before letting them drop. And then after we've rolled our shoulders a few times, what we can do next is we can take our hands above our head, breathing in, exhaling as we look towards the sky, or maybe our gaze is a little bit more gently in front of us. Just ignoring any animals that might be wandering around. Breathing in. Drop your shoulders while keeping your arms straight and your palms are facing towards each other. Fingers are activated. And then just go ahead and drop down your right hands to the right side. And just gently stretch to one side, bending your right elbow, allowing support in your body. Breathing in, dropping down that left hand and slowly raising that right hand to the sky, keeping your palm facing towards the ground. Remembering your inhales and exhales as you move. This is Pele. He is a curious little kitten. And trying to maintain your arm over your body, go ahead and slowly drop your right hand back towards the ground. And then from here, let's just go ahead and drop back down onto the palms of our hands so that we can move our feet together into a nice butterfly pose. And from here, maybe we flap our little butterfly wings. Rolling your shoulders back, opening your chest, your heart chakra. Breathing in and exhaling. And go ahead and slowly take your right leg and twist it towards your left leg so that you can drop both knees into a nice 90-degree position. This is starting off as a deer pose, but we're going to go ahead and slowly take our hands and walk them behind our body. And you're going to slowly lift up on that thigh that you're bent towards, lifting up any weight off of your legs so that you can twist more. And then you're going to go ahead and do it a second time. You breathe in, lift it up again, and just go ahead and feel your spine truly stretch. Breathing in, exhaling. You're going to slowly walk your hands back towards the front of your body. And then you can take your hands landing on your palms behind you. Go ahead and take your feet to the floor and just windshield wiper those legs and those hips, side to side. And then go ahead and drop to the other side that you haven't stretched yet. Maybe you started with the left side, and that's fine. So you'll notice that my two knees are in a 90-degree position, and we're going to go ahead and take our hands and walk behind us. And you're going to lift up on that thigh that you're resting on so that you can stretch a little bit further back. And then you're going to go ahead and do it a second time. So go ahead and lift up off that thigh and breathe in here as you rest on that thigh and just stretch towards the back. And go ahead and exhale and slowly walk your hands as comfortably as you need to, as securely and safely as you need to. And then from here, let's just go ahead and widen our legs into a nice V position, a wide V position. And we're gonna go ahead and just activate our toes towards our knees. And maybe this feels tight in your calves, and that's okay. That's a good reminder to eat more potassium and bananas and more maybe magnesium supplements or magnesium topicals. So we're going to take our right hand and just go ahead and let the palm rest towards the sky. And you're going to go ahead and take that left hand and just gently stretch side to side with the opposite hand curved towards you like a dancer. Remembering your inhales and exhales. And then from here, let's go ahead and meet in the nice tabletop, moving as slowly as you need to. I love me some prenatal yoga videos, but I always feel like the timing in between each stretch that you get into is not as lengthy as a true pregnant woman would need. And me being 30 weeks pregnant with you, we're in this together. So now we're in a nice tabletop. And in this tabletop, you can take your feet, and maybe the backs of your feet or the tops of your feet are flat on the floor. Maybe that's not comfortable, and so you need the bottoms of your toe pads on the floor, and that works too, okay? So in tabletop, you're just gonna flatten your palms against the floor, and you're gonna feel your arms straighten, your shoulders activate, your spine as straight as can be as a pregnant woman. And you're gonna go ahead and breathe in here, and exhale. You wanna make sure your fingers are straight, and you wanna make sure that you have a good balance between all 4 points. And then here, we can go ahead and just stretch into a nice cow, dropping the bottom of our spine as it feels good to you. Maybe you go less deep than I did. Maybe you go deeper if you still have that stretch. Maybe your belly is a little smaller, maybe it's bigger. And go ahead and stretch into a nice stretchy cat. Waking up from a nap. And just go ahead and do a few cats and cows as it calls to your body. I'm going as slowly as I feel like I need to, and feeling it in my lower spine, my coccyx bone. And then from here, I'm going to widen my knees a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and just look behind me to the left. And just feel a little stretch there. And then I'm going to return to neutral, and I'm going to look behind me to the right. And then I'm going to return to neutral. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and slowly, I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to go on my toe pads. And I'm going to scoot a little bit more towards the center of the camera. And this time, we're going to drop into a nice camel pose. So we can either do the camel pose on our toe pads if it feels good, or we can do the camel pose with our feet flat underneath us. And sometimes I can do that and sometimes I can't, so you'll figure out if you can or can't today. And then you're going to go ahead and take your hands and you're going to place them flat behind you. But maybe you just start with one, just to see your comfortability with this, and that's okay. So you go ahead and breathe in and lift up. And that feels possible on one side, maybe try the other side. And lift up. And then from there, if it feels good, you can go ahead and lean back on both hands and lift up. And honestly, both hands feels easier than just doing it one-handed. But sometimes it's a little scary to just drop into this. And then you go ahead and lower your legs, your thighs back down onto your feet. And then from here, what I want us to do today, I hear this is very helpful, is we're going to do a downward dog position, which I hear is very helpful for making the baby head go towards the entrance. So we're going to take our hands and we're going to go ahead and land on our toe pads. And we're going to go ahead and slowly, we're going to walk. We're going to raise our knees and we're going to slowly walk this dog. And your feet will be wider than a normal downward dog because there's girth happening in your stomach and it doesn't feel good to press your thighs against that anymore. And you're going to go ahead and breathe in, keeping your hands flat on the floor. I want you to really push and activate mentally your arms towards your thighs, your toes towards your knees, and breathe in. Exhale. And let's go ahead and just push again. Breathe in, creating room in your chest. Maybe you lean a little forward before you go back down into that downward dog. Exhale. And then slowly, I want you to go ahead and walk your hands towards your feet. And I'm going to walk my feet towards my hands so they stay in frame. And then you're going to see me drop down into a goddess pose. And maybe you need a block beneath you right now for stability, and that's okay. Or maybe you're high up on your toes rather than flat on the floor. Whatever's most comfortable for you. Don't feel judged for not being able to do a specific position, but because I'm pregnant, I like to widen my feet a little bit more in this pose, I've noticed. So breathe in, and you'll drop your hips, and you'll raise your hands up towards the sky. Maybe you have blocks underneath you. Breathe in, exhale. And that's probably a good place right there to enjoy. And then go ahead and slowly take your hands to the floor, drop down one knee, drop down that next knee. And then let's go ahead and end this with a nice pigeon pose, because maybe you already have another baby in the house. And you're gonna notice I like to wear socks on the carpet, and I just slide my foot back, and then I'll drop the top of my foot flat on the floor. And then I like to take a pillow. Even though some ladies don't seem to need a pillow, that's also fine. You go ahead and breathe in, and I'm up on my finger pads like a spider, and I roll my shoulders back, opening my chest, and I exhale with my heart chakra open before I drop down onto this pillow. Breathing in, exhaling, breathing in, exhaling. And then let's just go ahead and drop down onto that left thigh, or whatever knee you had bent. You drop down onto that thigh. And then you're gonna take the opposite leg, swing it around as you stay landed on that hand that was closest to the bent thigh. You wanna be secure. Yoga is very helpful for making sure that you have maybe a safer delivery. You want to make sure that you don't overstretch anything as well before you have your baby. You're going to go ahead and take the opposite leg. I like to walk it back with my toes and then slide my foot back. And then I'm going to roll my shoulders back. I look up a little bit. I make sure that my stomach feels good at all times, and then I like to drop down onto this pillow here, and then I drop my head so that the back of my neck feels nice and relaxed. Breathing in, exhale. And because I like to keep these videos short and sweet, or if you're short on time, I would say you could stop there. But if you have a few minutes and you have helping hands, or maybe your baby's asleep, you take that pillow, you lay down on your side, and you go ahead and do a nice pregnant mama shavasana with that pillow in between your knees. And you go ahead and rest on that arm, preferably your left side. That's always what they recommend. And you just rest. And today, let's rest together. Breathing in and breathing out. And in my mind, I'll say affirmations like, I am worthy. And you can say them to yourself too. And just remember, you are a good mom. You are worthy. None of us are alone. We are all connected. And you can stay seated or laying down on your side for as long as you need. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. And I want to thank you for sharing this time with me. I really appreciate you going on this journey with me. I hope that this was a nice quick session for you. Namaste.